I'm able to support my family right now, and I still want more so I can be good for life.
And so I believe that Chris is going to win year after year after year, lining up Mr. Olympia titles one by one by one. Coach Greg, in today's video, Chris Bumstead, he gets deep with us. He's answering all of our questions, but the most important response that I saw was that Chris wants more. Chris ain't retiring, and now that he has a family, he realizes that family above everything. And so if he loses a competition, he's okay with it. And so will we in fact see Chris Bumstead setting the record? 9 Mr. Olympia championships, and why stop there? Why not make it double digits?
What happened to the Ford pickup? My Ford has been in the shop for 1 year and 9 months. I didn't have anywhere to stay. I didn't really care because I didn't have anywhere to park it. And I forgot about it.
A year and 9 months later, oh yeah, there was that truck. Oh, did you get that part yet? Nope, it hasn't come in yet. And so imagine having the kind of money that Chris has where you can bring in your truck to get a repair and forget about it. Forgot I had that vehicle. I mean, I thought it was just Mike Israetel who had Lamborghinis for all his butlers. Perhaps Chris Bumstead has even more butlers and Lamborghinis than even Mike Israetel.
How did I make it to this success? Having an authentic goal is one of the most important things in being successful, because an authentic goal to me just means like a goal that's truly for yourself.
And so Chris states that for him and for everyone in life, the reason for your success is that you have to have an authentic goal. One of which you cherish that you want to accomplish. Not your friends, not your parents, not your family, but you. And when you have that kind of goal, you can and will do everything it takes in order to achieve it.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but essentially, as long as you're chasing something that you really care about and it's realistically within your grasp, then you can be successful at it.
Chris, yes, it absolutely makes perfect sense. I'm glad that you're such a deep thinker. Clearly, he's been reading books. He sounds like Coach Greg. And so when it's an authentic goal, it's not a ridiculous one. Many people say, oh, I want to be a billionaire. I want to be the Mr. Olympia champion. Well, if it truly is an authentic goal, it's one of which you know that you can achieve. And so when I was competing and people would say, what place would you like to get? I'm trying to get the top 10. Well, that's a loser's mindset. You should be trying to win. But I knew deep inside I had no chance of winning. And so why would I set a goal that I knew I couldn't accomplish? And to the contrary, when I was in powerlifting, somebody'd say, what is your goal? Well, I'm going to break the world record. I'm going to win by 100 pounds. Oh, you're so cocky. You're so arrogant. No, I'm being my authentic self. I know that I can beat the second best person in Canada by 100 pounds. I know that I can set the world record. And so when I say that's my goal, it's because it's my goal. And so if you have authentic goals that you truly value, and whatever that may be, some people value money, some people value improvement, some people value just doing their best. But whatever your authentic goal really is for you, that will bring you your own happiness. And so please be true to yourself and seek out an authentic goal.
Finally launching the standard training app. I'm fired up about it. Going full steam ahead on this thing. It's been a year of building this thing. A lot of money.
And if Chris says he put a lot of money into his new app program, of which you can purchase from Cbum, you know it cost him a lot of money. This coming from a guy who brought his truck in to get repaired and forgot about it.
Are you happy with your actual life? I like this question because actual life insinuates that I can't talk about being happy about the simulation of my life.
I do believe they mean that his own reality of his life and not what you see on social media. Obviously on social media you see the champion, 5-time Mr. Olympia champion. Guy's got a family, a young baby girl. He's got everything going for him. 25 million followers. But what about his own reality? Is he in fact happy with it?
And I'm proud to say that I'm actually happy with my actual life. The reflection that I have is like tearing away everything physical and picking my top core values, which is family.
Clearly, the guy is happy. Now, he states he can't show everything on social media. When he has an argument or when he's upset, he can't just grab the camera and film it. And so, of course, you're going to be seeing more of his best moments than you are of his worst. But overall, I do in fact believe him. He looks happy. I don't believe it to be any other way.
Nowadays, we literally consume more social media than we do reality. So the reality that we build in our brain is a simulation of like what's actually real out there.
So Chris is saying, look, it's getting scary. In the world, we spend more time on social media than we do in reality. And so social media has become our reality. But you need to be careful with this. Do you really want to subject all of your happiness to what you see online? Or do you not want to seek true happiness from the emotional interaction with friends, family, and so on?
For me, happiness was like being on stage under the lights, hearing my name being announced to be Mr. Olympia. I'd be happy for 5 seconds a year.
Exactly. You're thinking, if I had Chris Bumstead's physique, if I won all of his titles, I would be happy. He's saying when you stand there and win the Mr. Olympia title, it's for 5 seconds. You win the title, yay! And then what? Happiness comes from what you do every single day. I would argue that it's from overcoming challenges. If I just sat back, retired, didn't do anything, I would get bored very quickly. And remember, when you're on your deathbed, when you're knocking on heaven's door, you're not going to be thinking, show me all of my trophies. I want to spend my last hour looking at my Mr. Olympia titles, at my world records. You're going to be thinking, how many people can I talk to who I love and I can talk to right now? I want to see, speak, and interact with them before it's time for me to leave this world. All the money, all the trophies, all of everything, it's not going to matter when you're ready to leave this world. And don't forget, you can't take any of it with you.
I think a lot of people don't understand that high levels of success actually sacrifice happiness. It's not the other way around.
That is deep.
We can't help but compare to what we see all the time. And like I said, if we're consuming more media than we are reality, we're looking at our phones more than we're spending with real people.
And so please try to avoid thinking that the media, what you're presented to, what you see on social media, that is actually your reality. It is not. And the pump cover now comes off, and look at Chris Bumstead. I mean, are you seeing this? The size, the conditioning, the vascularity. Sounds like his skin is about to tear.
But the secret of being a good bodybuilder is no matter how tired you are in the midst of prep, doing cardio, low carb, whatever, you're showing up and doing the work.
And so the secret to being a good bodybuilder, you just show up. And the thing is, most people cannot. And so if you show up and put in the work, the effort, you can be successful.
How do you find your limits though?
By finding them, I tore my lat last year and I thought I was my limit. If I hadn't torn my lat, I wouldn't have known what I would have been capable to do with such a limited time.
And as the title suggests in his video, finding your limits during preps, how do you know if you've gotten your limit? By finding them. You push yourself until you find that limit. It's like trying to find out how many reps can you do. Well, you don't know until you've tried as many reps as possible and then you fail. And so in order to find what your limit truly is, you push yourself until you fail. If you do that, you will then find out where it is. Because if you don't do that, you don't know how much further you could have gone.
Understand the risk versus reward of it. I've injured myself. I've been stressed out. I've been overwhelmed, but I've learned. I haven't even learned my limits yet.
And remember, even Chris Bumstead, he says, look, I'm stressed out. I get overwhelmed. It's a hard challenge to be the best in the world. But I've compared the risk versus the reward, and it's worth it for me. This is what I want. And remember, he ain't retiring. Many have speculated, including myself and many others, that this will be his last Olympia. It ain't his last Olympia. Chris is going to compete for years to come.
And it's been exhilarating and miserable at the same time. But I wouldn't change a thing.
And so remember, if he retires after winning his 6th Olympia title this year, how would he know he couldn't get 7, 8, a record 9, or dare I say even 10? He wants to push his body to its limits. He wants to find out just how far can I take this? And so when he gets older, he's not going to want to have any regrets. To look back and say, I retired after 6 Olympia titles. I probably could have won 7, 8, 9, 10. And so why am I stopping at 6? Why did I stop? And so this is Chris's authentic goal, winning Olympia titles. It's what makes him truly happy. It's not unrealistic. It's well within his reach. And so why not continue to challenge himself?
I think being able to actually be excited, like changing your frame of mind, being excited to embrace the nerves rather than trying to get rid of the nerves, completely changes your perception of anything you're doing.
This doesn't just apply to bodybuilding. It applies to everything in life. Asking a girl on a date, applying for a job in a job interview, feeling uncomfortable, it's part of basic human emotions. It's there for a reason. Embrace it.
To answer another question, how to reach your level? You don't.
Full stop. And he ain't kidding.
Keeping your digestion on track, doing cardio, doing walks throughout the day, making sure you're moving helps you way more than trying to get less steps until you're burning less calories. That's bullshit.
And so again, with bulking, Chris says to move around a lot, go for a lot of walks, trying to get fewer steps so that you burn fewer calories. He says that's bullshit. Very happy to hear this. Guys, year-round cardio. And it's not just Chris saying this, even Sam Sulik agrees. And remember, Sam is bulking harder than last time.
Told me I should be having gluten right now, and I stopped eating pasta and I felt a lot better. So as I'm saying that, I just remembered that my actual favorite go-to meal is pasta.
And so his favorite meal off season for bulking is pasta, but of course he has some digestive issues, and so it's not as easy for him to digest. But while dieting, it's rice and potatoes.
I love competing, I will love bodybuilding, and I can enjoy that as a side to what's most important to my life, which is my family.
And so now that Chris has become a father, it's actually helped with his mindset towards competition. You're thinking, no, it's going to be the opposite. I too once thought that. I thought once he becomes a father, he's going to have to retire. He's not going to have the time. He's just not going to be able to put his heart and soul into it. But now that he's a father, has a family, he realizes that it's okay if he loses. Whether he comes out on top, gets second place and so on, everyone is still going to love him no matter what. And so the pressure is off. He can now just prep, enjoy the experience, enjoy the emotions, and set himself up on stage. Remember, it's his authentic goal to compete in bodybuilding and be the best in the world. He's done so for 5 consecutive years. And as far as I can see, there's nothing holding him back. He's not injured, he's feeling great, he has a good mindset, and so why should he stop?
And I'm so grateful that I've had success at a young age, and I understand that that alleviates the pressure because I'm able to support my family right now, and I still want more so I can be good for life.
He just said it himself. I still want more so I can be good for life. He wants to secure himself as the GOAT. The greatest of all time. But if he retires at 6, it still puts him behind Arnold Schwarzenegger, Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman, and Lee Haney. And so when you have the mindset of a champion and it's your authentic goal to be the greatest of all time, the GOAT, are you really going to stop at 6? When you're literally making a video saying how to find your limits, you don't find them until you've found it. If that limit is 6, it's 6. If it's 7, it's 7. And if it's 10, it's 10. But he won't find out unless and until he goes for it. And going for it, he will.
A lot of my pressure was just internal pressure to succeed and to win and to be the best in the world and all these things.
And so gone are the days where he had an intrinsic pressure that he had to win no matter what. It was almost as though he was winning because he couldn't fail. Now that he realizes that he will be loved no matter what, it doesn't matter if he wins. The Rock knows it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
He can now train for the love of it, the fact that he enjoys pushing himself, dieting to this extent, seeing just how far he can challenge himself. He loves this. It's his authentic goal. And so why don't you find your authentic goal? Perhaps it's not bodybuilding. Perhaps it's not powerlifting. Could it be perhaps doing cardio? Perhaps you could be a triathlete, or perhaps race bikes like Coach Greg. Or does it even need to be physical? Could it be mental? Could you in fact study a 3rd language? Could you go back to school? Or could you in fact get closer to God? Or to your significant other? To learn how other people think? Well, whatever that may be, so long as it's your authentic goal and it makes you happy, why not go for it?
It's always been like that for me, but having a child is just like the most eye-opening experience, to being like, this is all that matters. This is the most important thing to me. Everything else is second to this.
And so I believe that Chris is going to win year after year after year, lining up Mr. Olympia titles one by one by one, until he wins the most Mr. Olympia titles of all time and cements himself as the GOAT.
You know, that might make people less hungry, and maybe it will over time, but for me, it kind of just alleviates pressure and gives me permission to like kind of get after whatever I want.
And so he says, look, I get it. Having a family, having a child could make people less hungry. And maybe it will. But notice he says, maybe it will, as in it might in the future, maybe. Does it look like it's slowing him down right now? He has to lose, 12 pounds to make the weight class for classic physique? And where is this fat going to go from? He's already shredded. And so does anyone think he's going to show up off That he just let his physique slide this year? I don't think so. It's going to be the all-time best Chris that we've ever seen, ever.
If I fail because it matters less now because, like I said, my worth is not on the line.
And so the pressure's off. If he fails, he fails. But he's testing his limit. If some freak comes out of nowhere, Wesley Visser somehow puts it together even better than we can expect and challenges Chris, well, so be it. I welcome it. I'm up for a challenge. I don't know what my limits are until I've seen it. And so until somebody comes and takes the title away from me, I won't know that anyone deserves it.
Are you natty? Yes, absolutely.
Is he sending a subliminal message that perhaps he's not telling the truth? That he's perhaps actually enhanced? I don't know, guys. I personally believe that Chris is a black natural athlete, and that's because he is. But if you want to think that he may in fact be abusing performance-enhancing drugs to win the classic physique Mr. Olympia title for 5 straight consecutive years, going on his 6th, well, you believe what you want. I mean, is it not more realistic that Cbum is a black natural athlete? Then Mike Israetel could have won that competition if he would have had a better tan. I mean, let me know in the comment section which you think is more unrealistic to you.
Me and Courtney used to say 4 to 5 kids. Now that we have one, we're like, let's take it one at a time because this is a lot of work. But we definitely want a big family. I would like at least 3.
And so how many little Cbums are going to be running around? Well, when they first started making those little Cbums, they said, let's have 4 or 5. And now after having 1, they've lowered it to 3. They still want to have a big family, but they're saying, yeah, about 3. And so hopefully Chris is able to have a boy in the future, but I'm sure what he wants is more healthy babies than last time. And don't forget, Chris, of course, if you need Turk Builder and GO2 Max, you know just how effective this really is. Imagine Cbum on GO2 Max and Turk Builder. It wouldn't be fair. And so to the rest of you, if you want something that makes it not fair, a competitive advantage over your opponents that's legal, that's right, it's not banned by WADA. You can use it in drug-tested sporting competitions. Now, Cbum is a black natural athlete, and so if he were to use this, he would still, of course, pass the WADA drug test. And so interested in GO2 Max or Turk Builder, you do realize we have a money-back guarantee. And what exactly does that mean? It means you can use it at no risk to yourself. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Is it complicated? And so what do you have to lose? Go and pick up more Turk Builder and GO2 Max than last time. Code Greg, 15% off. And of course, the Cookbook 3.1, you can get the hard copy or PDF. The Circle Diet Book, My Life's Work, How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off for the Rest of Your Life. And of course, check this out. It's one of my training books. There are several, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Learn the proper training programs to train harder than last time, like Coach Greg. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you in fact liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops. And if you got no money, get a freaking loan. What's wrong with you? Get a loan. No, I kid. You can get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages. There are 4 different to choose from depending on your calorie needs. Head to my website, check out what's going on, and of course join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.